of making her children sick finds out if she will get them back.
Channel 11 News starts now with David Johnson.
After 7.5 months, I get to see all of my children. And I certainly hope that with this new miracle today, if you will, that my family will be reunited finally and we can be together. I'm so elated.
One court win leads to another for a local mother. Days after being awarded visitation, a judge rules her children can go home for good. The Butler County woman stood accused of making her own children sick.
And the accusations led to a bitter custody battle. Channel 11 News broke this unusual story last fall, and our Amy Marcinkiewicz is live now with a copy of the judge's decision that brings this bizarre case to an end. Amy, good evening.
Good evening, David. It's almost at an end. We can tell you, according to the judge's ruling, no abuse, no Munchausen by proxy. The parents did not hurt these kids according to the ruling, but still tonight, the kids are in foster care. The room and the mood was tense. Parents waiting for a life-changing decision. Ron and Melissa Taimuty-Loomis huddled together praying to get their 3 children back home. It's been a 7.5-month battle. 7-year-old Ezra, 5-year-old Adia, 3-year-old Simia taken by Children's Services after allegations surfaced that Melissa had Munchausen by proxy, a disease where parents hurt their children to get attention. In Monday's decision, a judge stated there was no abuse. The parents will get their kids back within 20 days.
I mean, that is a huge moment of happiness of, yes, there is no Munchausen syndrome by proxy and there is no child abuse, and those are very important points that are victorious. So yes, you know, we are very pleased with that. It's just unfortunate that we will not be reunified for another 20 days. After 7.5 months, we were hoping today was the day.
We're just gonna hug them and I don't know, go inside and hang out together and just have a good time.
And I really wanted to reunite these children with their mom on Mother's Day, and I'm somewhat disappointed that that is not going to occur.
Now, according to the ruling that we just received just about an hour ago, there was no parental abuse. Within 20 days, this family will be reunited with 9 months of CYS Children's Services supervision, and the parents must also undergo counseling. Reporting live, Amy Marcinkiewicz, Channel 11 News.
And Amy, that family and attorneys have a hearing in the next 10 days to go over this decision. For good, last fall, Butler County CYS took Castle Shingers. Today, a judge found Manny did not abuse her children.
We know the truth, and we trusted that the justice would prevail, and that there was no findings of child abuse or Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and that is a very victorious moment.
And the
Parents went back to court to appeal.
Back to KDK TV News.
A Butler couple who just yesterday won custody of their children went back to court today.
They were accused of intentionally making their children sick, but they weren't totally pleased with the judge's decision. Don Cannon's been following the family's battle for nearly a year.
Counseling. Today, the Taimuty-Loomises and their lawyers were back in court asking that the entire case be dismissed. Less than 24 hours after the court ruled that they should regain custody of their 3 children, Ron and Manny Taimuty-Loomis were back in Butler court today, trying to push the legal envelope.
We felt that since there was no child abuse found and no Munchausen syndrome by proxy, that we were innocent, and that would mean that we would be reunited with our children immediately.
While yesterday's court decision returns custody to the Taimuty-Loomises, it won't happen for 20 days. And even then, the county will supervise the kids for at least 9 months.
We wanted to act promptly because we have children who need to be reunited. It's going on over 7.5 months.
The children were placed in foster care after CYS and some doctors decided that Manny Taimuty-Loomis suffered Munchausen by proxy, either deliberately sickening her children or fabricating symptoms to doctors.
What is certain, though, is that the doctors responded totally to the symptoms described by the parents, and in doing so, placed the children at significant danger.
The doctors diagnosed mitochondrial disease, a rare, sometimes fatal illness. The Taimuty-Loomis' oldest child, Noah, died just before his 3rd birthday 4 years ago, but there was no autopsy. 2 other children, Ezra and Samia, were treated with intravenous feeding tubes and painkillers, Dilaudid, delivered by backpack. The courts issued a compromise decision yesterday that the parents did nothing wrong, but that custody of the children was conditional on counseling and county supervision.
Well, we feel that after everything that the children have been through and after everything that we have been through, that we welcome counseling. However, we don't feel that it's warranted that we be forced into counseling.
Just want to make a quick correction on the child who died 4 years and 4 months ago. His name was Jonah and not Noah. The judge refused to dismiss the case today, but he did agree to move the disposition hearing up Monday. That's the hearing that will decide the conditions of custody, the conditions of court supervision. And it's possible the Taimuty-Loomises will get their kids back sooner than the 20 days initially projected by the court. Live in Butler County, I'm Don Cannon, KDK TV News.
Thank you, Don. With Patrice King Brown, Stacy, but they had to spend another day in court today. Don Cannon will be live to tell you why. Wow.
United with their children, they still do not have the children back.
Today they were back in court, but the case took yet another twist that may delay the homecoming. Don Cannon is live now in Butler with more. Don?
Yeah, thanks very much, Stacy. 8 months ago, Butler County Court took away the children of Ron and Manny Taimuty-Loomis and placed them in foster care. The parents were accused of Munchausen by proxy, deliberately making the children sick. Last week, the court said the parents did nothing wrong. They were cleared of any wrongdoing, but today, the family was back in court again, still trying to get their children back.
We were found innocent of child abuse, found innocent of Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Why is Big Brother watching us?
And why can't Ron and Manny Taimuty-Loomis regain custody of their 3 children, Ezra, Adia, and Samia, even though the court found them not guilty?
Our clients have been exonerated of any child abuse, of any wrongdoing, and now at this point, their civil liberties are at stake.
While the Butler County Court found that Ron and Manny Taimuty-Loomis did nothing to harm or endanger their children, Children and Youth Services today issued a 22-page family service plan that recommends what the defense calls severe restrictions on the reunification process.
What they have tried to do in this 18-day trial is prevent these children from ever returning to their parents.
The 22-page CYS report calls on the court to mandate psychological counseling for both parents and compulsory parenting classes.
If it's something that I have to do, I'll do it. But I don't feel that it's necessary in this case. I just want my kids back.
I agree with my husband. As he said, I think all parents have room to improve. However, I don't think in this particular case that parenting classes are warranted.
The CYS recommendations to the court also include a visiting nurse to check on the children once a week for the next 9 months.
If the children are doing well, as Butler County has alleged, which is wonderful if that is true, then why would we need a visiting nurse to come to the home?
Now, a final decision on when and how these children are returned to their parents is expected to be made here in Butler County sometime later this week. When that happens, we will be there. Live from the Butler County Courthouse, I'm Don Cannon, KDK TV News.
Thank you, Don.